I hate to be the guy to say this. You know, I never thought I'd be the guy to say this, but I told you so. All right, so today I'm going to be shooting this video in parts. You'll see different backgrounds, not the same background. Because unlike some of you mofos, and I mean that with love, I got to work. So all day today, I've been working with one specific client. Made a lot of trips between Miami and Fort Lauderdale today, right? But in between these trips, I've had a chance to go back and watch all the videos that are coming out and read some of the news articles that are coming out. And I'm here to tell you, okay, a lot of you drivers got it wrong, man. I really feel that way. I think you guys missed the big picture when it came to what Uber and Lyft was. If you think New York City, if you're in New York, I love New York, that's where my peoples are from, or California, I got some people out there I love too. If you think these politicians give a rat's ass about you making more money just because they have a sympathetic heart, you're wrong. Politicians care about one thing, and that's power. And how do they get that power? Money and votes. So if you can go and stir up the masses and get a bunch of people riled up like they did in California, even though I would really, really like to know what percentage of drivers in California want to be employees. Because I can tell you the way California operates, right? It's the wants of the few that outweigh the needs of the many. And that's a fact. All you got to do is look on the streets. So many homeless people. New York, in the city, the 5 boroughs, you know, they want limited hours, limited drivers, and they want to mandate to the apps how much each driver should get paid. All of a sudden, these two government systems want to make employees out of drivers in order to collect the tax and revenue base for no other reason. Because they are losing money every time somebody takes an Uber or a Lyft. Now don't get it twisted. Uber and Lyft has done some real shady shit, right? They've been cutting rates, the last 4 or 5 years? In my market, that's the only market I can speak for. In my market, and we'll talk about X rides, it's gone down a total of 5.5 cents a mile in 4 years. That's what it's cost us here in the Southeast Florida market, or the Miami market. Is it right? Hell no, it ain't right. You go get a job, you usually don't take pay cuts unless the business is fail. Oh wait, business is failing. They can't turn a profit. So 5.5 cents in my market it's no sweat off me, right? When I drive Lux, they haven't touched those rates. Lyft is just absolutely bending people over in certain cities across the country. And they've done a few price cuts on the upper platforms, XL, Lux, whatever. So understand that the apps aren't good either. So I got to admit something. I tried to shoot this video like 5 or 6 times. And every time I wind up going off on a rant. And I'm not trying to be that guy that goes off on a rant. What I want drivers to understand, at least, you know what? Let me rephrase that. This is how I look at Uber and Lyft. Uber and Lyft was never designed to be a full-time job. It just wasn't. But because of the easiness of it, right? You got a car, you got insurance, you meet the qualifications, you got a phone, boom, you can go to work whenever you want to. The flexibility is absolutely there. But my question is, with all the stuff going on in New York and all the stuff going on in California, and then Lyft, with their little shady asses, cutting rates like, I don't even know how people do that. I mean, that's stupid. But with all of this going on, and then I read Twitter, Facebook, and then the YouTube videos, getting everybody riled up in a storm, I think everybody really forgot what the purpose of it was, what the platforms offered. They didn't offer you anything other than an opportunity. My question is what do drivers really want, right? Do they want to be employees, or do they want to try to, continue to be an independent contractor? Uber and Lyft are shady as hell, and over the last 3 or 4 years, they've cut rates. But the reason they're cutting rates isn't because they're being greedy, right? Yeah, you look at when they IPO'd and you got all these people bugging out and, taking their money, and you see the Twitter feeds and the Facebook rants about, the owner buying a $70 million. Listen, that's got nothing to do with us. They've cut rates because not only did they get into a price war with each other and a race to the bottom, the Walmart syndrome, but they have to find a way to make these platforms profitable. Yes, they spend a ton of money and waste a ton of money on research and development, on marketing. Listen, if you live in this world, anywhere in this world that is civilized, first, second, or third world country, you goddamn know what Uber is, right? The marketing is done. To say that they're competing all the time against Lyft and trying to, listen, there's no loyalty with riders when it comes to the app. They're going to go to the cheapest fare every time. So all that marketing, it's all bullshit. But it doesn't matter what they do to develop their business. They are not profitable. And the reason why I mention this is because if you're a driver and you're not profitable, when you get done driving, we all hear it, right? Don't drive. And I'm not going to be that guy to tell you not to drive. I have developed businesses from this. And there's no reason why other people can't develop businesses from this or use it for what it was meant for. A gap filler, a part-time gig, a way to make some, quick money, easy money, and launch yourself into something outside of this. But what I don't want you to do is get caught up in all the media's bullshit. One thing about the apps is, for the most part, they give us warning, right? Now, Lyft is, again, very shady with what they do. They'll tell you on September 15th, this change will take place. And you get the email on September 16th. What the fuck? Anyway, Uber gives you plenty of warning. We're going to do this. We've heard drivers speak. We know what you want, which we know is like horseshit, but they give you warning. And you as a driver, you need to make those adjustments. You can best believe I make those adjustments. And as long as it aligns with what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go, then I'm cool with it, right? Because at the end of the day, it's up to me to turn on the app or not. You need to be doing the same thing. That's just my opinion. Now, the latest thing is the surge, right? Arbitration next month. Listen, you can go follow all the big name YouTube channels because they're all talking about it. Here's my thing. If surge goes away and you are strictly driving on the base platforms, X, Lyft, Uber Pool, Lyft Line, Lyft Shared, whatever the hell it is today, you got to really consider doing something else. Because at this point, you have no opportunity to make any more money than what you're making now. With Surge allows us as drivers to get that, that Black Friday feeling. Like, we've already gone from the multiplier, right? Which people were complaining. That's the problem. People were complaining about the multiplier. I'm talking about drivers, right? It wasn't enough, or I got there and it wasn't still there. Then when they went to flat surge, here in Florida, we've had flat surge for 6 months, right? Lyft took away the prime time, right? Now they got personal power zones, which are as rare as a 4-leaf clover or a leprechaun in a strip club. It don't exist no more, right? Once that goes away, and you can believe with the way the government now is operating. If you look at New York, everything is executive order. The people don't get to vote on shit. In California, they got protests and whatnot, and the government's getting involved. The more the government gets involved in this and tries to regulate the apps, the more we're going to lose. I don't know. Maybe I just look at it differently. I knew when I signed up for this stuff that this was not going to be a career. And any driver who signed up for this, that thought this was going to be a career, your thinking was flawed. You are operating as an independent contractor for somebody who does control how much you're going to get paid per minute per mile. Their algorithm, whether people call me a tinfoil hat, is going to determine and limit how much you're able to make and not make, unless you're in certain markets, right? Chicago, listen, Geo is in a hotbed for rideshare. If you want to make a career or you want to make a couple of years of really good money doing this, move your ass to Chicago. Because I promise you, there's no other cities that does what Chicago does. All I'm suggesting is figure out what your goals are, right? And understand what rideshare is. The more everybody gets involved in this gig economy, the more the money's going to be coming out, and it's not going to be going to us drivers, whether you're doing Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Postmates, Instacart, or any other Shipped, whatever, right? There's a million of them out there. And at the end of the day, they are not thinking about you and your well-being. You are a tool. The best thing you can do as an individual is to understand it, analyze it, learn how they operate, and then do your own thing. Because I'm a firm believer, David and Goliath. Last time I checked, David whooped his ass. Peace out.